I want to see her. I want to hug her. I want to tell her that she's beautiful.
Until now, these two women have never met. There's good reason why this meeting is so filled with emotion.
Oh my gosh, this is so surreal.
These two women used to be known only as Jane Does, but today they are going public, revealing their identities on camera for the first time.
My name is Chelsea, and I am Jane Doe No. 7.
My name is Heather, and I'm Jane Doe No. 13.
Chelsea Andrews and Heather Wendel are involved in a sweeping lawsuit, Jane Doe's versus Liberty University, accusing the school of mishandling allegations of sexual assault and punishing women who tried to report them.
The experience was horrific.
Just last year, Liberty, one of the largest Christian universities in the world, was embroiled in another sex scandal involving its president, Jerry Falwell Jr.
She's the hottest first lady at any college in the country.
Falwell was forced to resign after allegations surfaced that his wife, Becky, was having a sordid affair with a Miami pool boy. Now, in this exclusive interview, Chelsea and Heather claim Liberty officials failed to investigate claims of sexual assault.
I was drugged and forcibly raped by multiple people.
Heather filed this police report naming her alleged attackers, but she says Liberty University officials refused to believe her.
There was people that were there that were like, oh yeah, like you probably wanted it. My assailants were prayed for and let go back into society.
Chelsea says she had a single glass of wine at an off-campus house. She says her alleged assailant was a medical student she barely knew.
I remember trying as much as I could to make him stop.
Why didn't you report it?
This is probably the hardest question that you could ask. I thought, I'm gonna get in trouble. If I reported it, I was gonna get punished.
Chelsea says she was afraid of violating what's called the Liberty Way, the school's ultra-strict honor code that every student is required to sign. The Liberty Way calls for disciplining and even fining students for drinking and engaging in premarital sex.
The punishment for drinking was the equivalent of the punishment for raping somebody.
Excuse me, can you say that again?
Consuming alcohol in their minds is equivalent to destroying somebody's life.
According to the lawsuit, the Liberty Way makes it difficult or impossible for students to report sexual violence.
I think 100% the Liberty Way has been weaponized against women on campus. Nothing is set up to help us. Everything is set up to make us not speak and to tell us that our experience was invalid.
A quiet rebellion is now taking place on the conservative campus in Lynchburg, Virginia, with a number of Liberty students forming Justice for Janes. They all wear teal ribbons as a sign of support.
I said, you take every complaint seriously.
Earlier this month, the school's new president addressed the allegations in the lawsuit.
We want you to feel safe. We don't want any sexual harassment or sexual abuse.
Do you think that this is something that Liberty University tried to cover up?
For many years, they've been sweeping things under the rug. And now we're lifting that rug up and seeing how much dirt and disgusting is underneath it.
What we saw was this sort of cover-up culture was systemic at Liberty. And oftentimes they went through great lengths to cover these stories up.
Zach Levitt is the executive producer of the podcast Gangster Capitalism, which first reported on Chelsea and the Jane Doe's story.
In addition to discussing her own story, Chelsea told Zach that she'd quietly collected almost 30 other stories of rape and sexual violence at Liberty.
And what we saw in our reporting with the Jane Does is that the Liberty Way does the exact opposite of protecting them. It actually puts them in danger. When the penalties for drinking are the same as the penalties for sexual violence, that should tell you something right there.
Zach says Chelsea has bravely worked behind the scenes, connecting all the Jane Does together via social media. We also spoke to ProPublica reporter Hannah Dreyfus, who says she spent months investigating the Jane Doe's claims.
When these women came forward trying to express concerns about their safety, they were told to be silent.
Liberty University says these allegations are, quote, deeply troubling if they turn out to be true. What's your response to that?
If I'm infuriated with that response. I'm absolutely livid with that response. How dare you tell us if this happened to us?
If they don't want to believe us, we're going to keep coming, and we can make them believe us.
Today, more than 20 Jane Does are involved in the lawsuit. Chelsea and Heather shared this original song with us, written by Jane Doe 4. This is the voice behind the music. Adriana Rice is also revealing her identity now and playing that song just for us. She says the lyrics reflect her experience after she was sexually assaulted and discouraged by Liberty University from reporting it to the police. Heather now proudly wears her Jane Doe number tattooed in Roman numerals on her forearm as a constant reminder of how far she says she's come. And how far all the Jane Does still have to go.
I want the culture to change. I want it to be a place where it is actually as safe as they claim it is.
Liberty University says they prefer to not comment on litigation, but say they take all allegations of sexual assault seriously in accordance with the law.